So getting your marketing focused on actual cash flow. You know, it's funny, Daniel, too. A lot of people, they're so good at certain aspects about it because they're passionate about their business or their products. I know a lot of people that are in the group, for example, are delivering or getting great products to people, and they're passionate about talking to people and exposing them to their website or their business. But a lot of times there's just these little tweaks. For example, a lot of people aren't sending people to a landing page to capture. So it's really just making sure that the marketing, any marketing you do, and marketing that you do could be a conversation, it could be handing someone a business card, it could be a social media post, it could be a blog post, a video. Every single action you take that's outward is marketing. We want to make sure it's now focused on cash flow. And Dan, you have a really cool example up here.
Yeah, so Tim, you just mentioned a landing page a minute ago, and basically the example that I have here is just a landing page versus what a home page is. And like I said, it's really funny because I've had like a consultation with many of you. I realize a recurring theme is that many people are sending traffic that they get from advertising or talking to people word of mouth or blogging or videos or social media. They route them directly to the homepage. And when you look at this homepage over here on the right side, it has a lot of links, a lot of distractions, taking people elsewhere on the website. Instead of really focusing in on this center point, which is, and so this is for MetLife, obviously, they're focused on insurance, but this is where you collect the information about your lead, and that's how you can follow up with them in an automated fashion. Well, so this is a large company, so that it has some credibility here, and if you were to look it up, you'll probably see a lot more of these. You probably filled out many of them yourself. But over on the left side here, we have what's called a landing page. So the landing page, or they used to be called squeeze pages by Dan Kennedy, like we were talking about, Tim. They're designed to, squeeze people through your funnel, bring traffic to the website, and get those leads. So it's the first page that they see when they get to a link, and there's nowhere else for them to go, really. There's a few other links on here, like, this different link to a different service, a phone number, a customer login link. But other than that, all that they really need to do here is fill out this form and click continue. And once they fill out that form, that they're going to be getting followed up with by a salesperson at MetLife. And this is the type of thing that many entrepreneurs don't have in their business currently. They send people to a website, and Tim, I know you were saying, people need to know the difference that we're not Apple. Apple can have a website that doesn't capture any leads, and yet they make $1 million in sales every day, probably more. We're not Apple. We can have a beautiful looking website, but when it comes down to the marketing of things, you need to be able to capture leads in order to follow up with people. And in order to do that, you need to have a landing page in place.
And when you see something like this, and hear Daniel talk about it again, if you've not done these things before, I think there's that possibility that someone's thinking, wow, I don't know if I can take those steps. I'll tell you what, you guys, with the technology that's available today, we'll even do this on our next event next Saturday. We can show you very easily how in very much less than a day, you can have something like this up and working for you, just like that. The other thing you'll notice is that on that left side, one of the things that these type of sites do well, and yes, Dan Kennedy, Daniel, don't date me anymore. As far as Dan Kennedy, we started going to those events probably 15 years ago, learning about business and whatnot. But the focus was tell your exact ideal prospect or client exactly what to do. Start here to get your free quote. Right. There's no guesswork. There's no, wow, I wonder what this is. It's sort of like a mystery. No, it's just start right here, not a mystery box, and get a free quote. So what's the expectation that we set up with that language? Number one, we're going to give them some information. Number two, we're setting an expectation that they're going to get some info and then be followed up with that exact language there. And that's very easy tweaks we can do to make sure that more people come to and through your site that are asking you afterwards, hey, this is the product I want, or this is the type of partnership or service I want from you. Wouldn't it be a lot easier if you had a lot of people contacting you every day to buy or partner than you trying to figure out who to contact to present that option to? That is game changer.
Right.
This next concept up here, Daniel, this is one that I think so many entrepreneurs, they grapple with because they love the features of their product or their service or their company or their business. And really the way I like to throw this out there is this is the difference between loving your business versus loving your client. When you love your client, it's a concept called preeminence, and it's a business philosophy. When you love your client, then you language to them the benefits of your product or service versus the features, and the sales or the buys or the client relationships, win-wins, partnerships go through the roof when you switch your language on your sites, your blog posts, your videos, your opt-ins, your follow-ups, when you switch it to benefits driven. Daniel, any comments on that?
Well, you're the sales languaging guy, so I was going to leave you to that one.
Well, I'll give you an example. I know, for example, that a lot of people in the group are, again, the end result of their business is they have deliverables going out to their clients that are purchasing. Number one, I would say always treat everyone as a client, not a buyer. Webster's Dictionary even says that buyers, that's average and ordinary. Everyone can buy. A client is someone that's under your care. A client is someone that you are their trusted advisor in your niche or your industry. And we want to position you from your website all the way through the process of them meeting you, finding you, contacting you, having a conversation, buying from you, working with you. We want to have them see you as the trusted advisor. And so, for example, even about the products that you have that you deliver, the benefits, the features of something might be the ingredients that are in it. This has this, this, and this in it. The benefit is this makes you look and feel amazing. This is exactly what you've been looking for. This is a great value to you. Those type of language shifts, features versus benefits, ingredients versus result. The more language that we can dialogue with someone, even on our sites, all the way through the buying process, that's very much about the change and the emotional feeling and result that a person will have by interacting with you as their trusted advisor. Your sales go through the roof, and so do not only let's call it the number of people buying, but the quality of relationship that you have with your buyers. What if a portion of every time let's say every 10 buyers, what if now half or more became such raving fans of you as their trusted advisor that they started referring people like crazy? That's a big shift in your business.
Right.
So the concept here is,
what's that?
I was just going to say the concept now is stopping the concept of random response marketing versus this strategic approach.
Tim, did we lose you?
No, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you.
Yeah, so I just said that my audio went out for a second. This last portion is the concept of making sure that you stop random response marketing and instead have a very purposeful client acquisition, client service driven business. So many people, they're in this random mode. Everyone feels so darn busy, but at the end of the day, how much time did we actually spend cultivating the right relationships in our business? Sometimes not a lot.
Right. I think that comes down to, being reactive versus proactive, same sort of thing. You get an email on your website and you're having to follow up with them immediately because you don't have anything in place that's prepared for that. Versus, if you have a system in place that's automatically following up with them and you nurture them through the prospect, through the pipeline automatically, then that is the difference between, random response marketing being proactive versus reactive to when you get a lead, when you have somebody interested, now you're racing around trying to sell them.
Yep, and I think there's some major distractions that feel like marketing and feel like business that, again, urgent versus important. Important meaning these top 2 or 3 things that if you do these things every day, your business will grow and you'll get where you want to get. But a lot of times someone sends a Facebook message and boom, that's our focus. Now all of a sudden we're responding to that. And I'll tell you what, Dana, if we tracked, and I don't know if you're building a tool for this, I actually hope not, but if we track, people spending time on the urgent response, Facebook related, my gosh, I think people will discover, wow, this is not necessarily the activity that's going to grow my business. It's more random response marketing.
But I don't want it.